Daryl, just squad wise, first of all, it's obviously a while since you played, and we won't see the 21 till Friday. How different might it look on Sunday?
Uh, One or two, but not massively different. I think with the injuries that we've got are sort of longer term. So yeah, we're not going to be too too dissimilar.
I know you were hopeful that Jake Truman might be ready after the Challenge Cup break. Is that going to be the case?
Well, he's trained this week. We'll see how he goes the rest of the week. There's potential that he'll play. So we'll like I say we'll get through the rest of the week and see where he's at.
How have you treated the break?
Oh, well, a bit of time off, but that was sort of earned by the results. Really, I wanted to put something on it. Um, so yeah, a bit of time off. We trained Monday, Tuesday. I think it was something like that, and then give the boys a bit of time. And yeah, they've earned the right, I think, to have a bit of time off. So then come back in with training, start training Monday. Obviously a longer a longer week leading into a Sunday game, but. It's been a good week so far.
Danny Maguire was just saying time off and a chance for players to sort of reset mentally can be as good as practice, as good as training. Have you found that in the past?
But yeah, it is. I think it's yeah, it's important. I think it's such a long season that you don't get that much time with your families around sort of weekends because you're constantly doing something on a weekend. So I think it's pretty good to. I mean, ultimately you'd want to be in a Challenge Cup final, wouldn't you? But if you're not, then it does give a chance to sort of spend some time with your family, get your head out of the game which like as you just mentioned, it can be as important, just getting a breather. And then from what I've seen from the boys this week, they've handled it well. They had a great training session today. Boys look sharp and ready to go. So I think from that perspective, it's done its job. And we we've had half a season now. I think we've been class in that first half of the season, and we want to get a little bit better and continue to show how good we can be.
I was going to ask you about your half-term report, so I might as well do now. What's your overall assessment halfway through?
Yeah, I think we've been really competitive. I think if we've lost games, then they've been pretty tight. I think we've lost four games, within 4 points. So we've been there or thereabouts in most games. Lost a golden point. So we'd want to flip them a little bit. I would say, if we can win some tight games, then that would be in a better position than we are already. But that's the game. I think we've learned a lot of lessons. The only really, I'm looking forward to playing Saints again actually because they're the team who, got away from us a little bit, not massively, but I think we even got belief from those games to be honest. So I think there's been a real growth of belief of what we can do, and I think the growth of understanding of what depth we've got as well with the amount of injuries that we've had and. For example, Harvey Smith and Josh Rock are the two examples that sort of stick out of they've had a lot of game time and shown that they can do really well at Super League level, and that's been a big plus for us.
You've had a good look at Leigh. This will be the third time you've faced them this year, and obviously contrasting results. What's your sort of overall opinion of them ahead of Sunday?
Well, I mean, in the top six, aren't they pretty comfortably? I think they started out with a really tight win against Wigan, and then they've been pretty tough to beat all the way through. Big and physical. They've got some players in there who can cause you a lot of damage. So your physicality defending against them has to be really good. And then, yeah, they're just a good team. I think they've been building for a fair number of years now, from a similar position to ourselves a while back, and they've got a really really good coach who gets them all heading in the right direction, same direction, and they're always difficult to beat. So it's 1-1 so far. So yeah, it's an interesting game. I think an important game for us. I think looking at where we sit and how we go in, and then you have a bit of a breather, come back out of that. I'd like to see us really get after this game, and we know how difficult it'll be. They're pretty formidable team to play against.
Does that Challenge Cup defeat still hurt?
Oh, not really. It was pretty close, wasn't it? When we give a try away under the post when it's 14-12, there's nothing in it really. We get away down the left and have a chance to put Tom Johnson away, and we don't quite get that right. There's nothing in the game, I didn't think. It's pretty tight. But we'd have been into a semi-final, so things like that do sort of get you a bit, but ultimately it is what it is. We weren't quite good enough on the day. It was interesting playing them 2 weeks on the trot. But every game's a new challenge and a different challenge. So we just have to learn from those games, which we have done, and then just get out there and play our best game. If we do that, then we'd be pretty confident. But it's one of those games that's 50-50 game. I think they're a good side, and I think we are, and it's a good challenge.
Sunday's game will have extra personal significance for you, Daryl, and for your family as well. Will you just explain why and what the situation is at the moment?
Oh yeah, so back in January, my grandson Clark was diagnosed with AML leukemia, which is a pretty aggressive form of leukemia. So it's been a really difficult and emotional time for my family, and particularly for my daughter Keegan and her husband Damon. It's very difficult for families when that happens to them, particularly with someone so young. So he was just before his first birthday when he went into hospital. And he's been 6 months of constant treatment, and LGI have been unbelievable. The oncology ward in treating Clark, and the Candlelighters charity have been superb. So it's been a really, like I say, emotional and difficult time for the whole family. But we've done what families do. We stick together and we support each other. And Clark's, let's say, he's finished his chemo now, and he's at home. Has to go in a fair bit still to hospital for blood transfusions and things like that. And it's the start of a journey, because cancer is a journey, and we're hopeful that he's gonna be well. He's happy and smiling at the moment, while still going through a very difficult time. So he's been a really brave young person, and handled it so well, whilst because that is. I mean, we're hoping he don't remember anything of it, because it's really tough for him. But we're all praying that he's going to be well, and has a fantastic life. And we'll all be there for each other, and for Clarky and everybody involved. It's yeah, it's been pretty tough, to be honest.
Going to be a fundraiser as well, isn't it, on Sunday for the Candlelighters Trust? I mean, if ever you needed extra motivation, can the players? He sounds like an absolute warrior, does Clark? Can the players play in his vein this weekend? Do you think?
When Clark first got diagnosed, I explained to the players what had happened, and said, "Look, I just want you to treat me the same, really, because I just want to come here, and this is my diversion away from the difficulties at home." And they've been phenomenal. So the other day, explained where Clark was now and showed him a little bit of the video, and the shirt has got Clark's name and the Team Clarky Boy and the Candlelighters charity on the front of it. So I'm really sort of proud and honoured that the club have done that. It's a phenomenal thing to do, and that's what kind of club this is. So I'm sort of really proud and emotional about that for the boys. I wanted to get it out there early on, so they knew the shirt that they were wearing and what it stood for, and then they can just go and play the game. But yeah, it's for us all. A lot of my family will be here on Sunday, and it'll be a big day for the charity. They've been unbelievable candlelighters, providing support in all sorts of different ways. Even grandparents meetings where you get to share, the difficulties and emotional parts of what having an illness like this means to the whole family. And my daughter would have found it much more difficult to get through this if it hadn't been for candlelighters. So, I can't speak highly enough of the charity and the support that it's sort of put around my family during this very difficult time.